in this video, we're talking about the 9 ultimate steps in regards to upgrading your follow-up. I can assure you that if you just even follow 2 of these 9 steps, I can assure you that you're going to sell an extra 1, 2, 3 houses per month starting right now. So let's dive into the video. Number 1, just follow up. Most agents, one of the biggest mistakes that I see is that they just don't follow up in general. So the biggest thing that I can urge you to be doing is just follow up with your leads. Why are you calling them in the first place if you're just not gonna follow up with them ever? Less than 2% of all sales are done on the very, very first phone call. So just understand, like, if you want a very low conversion rate, if you never ever want to sell a lot of homes, don't ever follow up. So if you want to sell a lot of homes, it's going to take an ungodly amount of follow-up. If you just call them for a second time around, you're going to at least double your opportunities, minimum, to close more deals. So I would recommend, and we're going to talk about this as the video goes on, but I would make sure that you're following up at least somewhere between 5 and 12 times for every single lead. On average, it takes 5 to 12 contacts to close a transaction. 80% of all sales are done between the 5th and the 12th contact. Mind-blowing stuff. So if you're not going to follow up with a lead 5 to 12 times, most likely you're not going to get the sale. And that's why the number 1 thing that I can urge you to do is just follow up. Let's talk about a little bit more in depth about what I mean by following up. It means that you've now contacted the lead, John the seller. You're going to follow up with John in one of a couple ways. You're going to call them. You're going to text them. You can email them, handwritten letter, video message, follow them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram, reach out to them on any type of social media. You're going to be able to knock on their door and meet them in person. Like, there is an unreasonable amount of ways that you can communicate with an individual. Again, definition of follow-up. The pursuit, right? Pursue or investigate something further. You're going to pursue, you're going to constantly pursue a client and follow up, investigate with what they're going to be doing further. Number 2, not following up enough. I often hear agents say, well, I followed up with them. I'm like, okay, how many times? It's like, well, I called them back once. It's just not going to get the deal done. Like we said, 5 to 12 conversations, contacts, and I would recommend that you kind of urge yourself a little bit closer to that 12 rather than the 5. If you're not closing anywhere between 3+ deals a month, you just have in general a lead issue. That's typically what I see is often the most common reason why agents aren't closing more than 3 deals a month. You have a lead issue. So that typically comes from one of 2 things. You're not calling enough people, or you're not following up enough, right? It means you're doing a lot of prospecting, spending hours and hours and hours a day or a week or a month or whatever, and you're just not following up with the people enough to convert them into sales. Have a mental metric of somewhere around 10 reach outs. 10 times you're going to follow up with somebody before you just get rid of the lead or say that I followed up enough. That's not true unless you can truly say you've contacted them or reached out 10 times. I'm going to give you like a bonus tip when it comes to this. A lot of people say, well, how much is too much? When you're calling somebody and you have reached out to somebody and they actually answered the phone on the 2nd or 3rd time around, you probably don't have to call them back. If they say, I'm not looking to do something for a year, you're not going to call them tomorrow. But what you can do is in 30 days time, for a lead that's possibly 12 months out, you can call them once a month and just say, hey, John, I know you're not looking to do something till next summer. I just wanted to touch base with you, see how you and the family are doing. Hope all is well. I like to always just say, I heard what you said, right? I'm acknowledging the fact that you're not looking to do something right now. I'm not calling you to sell your home at this second. That's why I say, I know you're not looking to do something till blank. Start off the conversation that way, and you just connect. Build a relationship. How's the family? Happy holidays. It's my favorite thing in the world to do when you are trying to follow up with somebody. July 4th, Memorial Day, Labor Day, holidays, New Year's, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is. The point is, say something that has to do with something you can connect on. Connecting with somebody and they love a sports team. I'm not super sports inclined. Again, if I know that they're like, well, I'm going to be, we're going to go see a Yankees game this weekend. I might not know a heck of a lot about baseball, but I know that I can say, how are the Yankees doing right now? I can ask certain questions. Hope they're doing well. I have no idea. It's just a nice talking point. So bring that back up. This way in the notes section, I like to take a lot of notes and say like what we talked about last time so I can bring it up again in the next conversation. So let's dive into point number 3. Utilizing several modes of communication. I kind of highlighted this before. What I mean by this is the following. Most people just think that all you can do with follow-up is just continue to call them. That is one mode of communication. And if you're going to only be reliant on calling them, right, like I'm getting a phone call right now, if this person sends me a text right now, I'll be really impressed. The point is that when you're following up with somebody, it is crucial that you understand that if you're just calling and you're not leaving a voicemail, you're doing the bare minimum when it comes to follow-up. When you're talking about multiple modes of communication, you're gonna call them first. You're gonna leave a voicemail if they don't answer. Then you're going to leave a text. Then what you're gonna do is you can send them a follow-up email. And you can even send them a handwritten card if you haven't sent them one in the last week or two. And then guess what you can do is make sure you're following them on social media so you can constantly use your content and all the posts that you're doing as a way of follow-up so they can see your beautiful face each and every single day. The point is that you want to be in their ecosystem in some way or another. So many times I just see agents, well, I called them back once. Well, I called them back for a third time. They didn't answer me. I guess they're just not looking to do something. There's some people who just don't like to utilize the mode of communication of a phone call. And I've had clients who only like using text. They only like using email. They only like using whatever platform. I've had people where they're like, legitimately, it was the weirdest thing. It happened one time in my career, but they only wanted to utilize just writing cards back and forth. I couldn't believe it. I mean, she was like 80-something years old, but that's what she wanted to do. That's what I did. And guess who got the deal done? That's right. So whatever mode of communication they prefer to use, you have to utilize that one. Stop just thinking that they have to do it your way, aka just on the phone. Point number 4, leaving voicemails. Do you understand how often I've been coaching an agent sitting next to them while they're making their calls and they don't even leave a voicemail whenever they're calling somebody to follow up? Oh, they're not home. I'll shoot them a text anyways. Leave a voicemail. You have the opportunity to leave a voicemail and you're choosing not to. Either you don't know what to say or you think it's a waste of time. I'm going to tell you right now that very simplistic voicemail. And think about it for a quick second. What is the whole purpose of a voicemail? What is the whole purpose? To call you back. That's it. That is the only reason why we leave a voicemail. Honestly, you could say just about anything you want in a voicemail if it gets them to call you back. Hi, your house is on fire. Is probably what you shouldn't say. But I would say this. Hey, John, it's Henry again with EXP Realty. I hope you and the family are doing fantastic. I was just reaching back out to you like I promised I would. I know we spoke recently about your thoughts of selling the home on 123 Main Street. I just wanted to see if that was still part of the game plan. Again, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Super looking forward to touching base again and looking forward to hearing from you soon. Again, it's Henry with EXP Realty, 908 blank blank blank. Boom. Right there's your number. You want to leave a voicemail that's going to get them to call you back and also have an understanding of what you're calling them for. Very simplistic. You can also leave a voicemail of like, hey John, it's Henry with EXP Realty. I have some fantastic news for you. You got to call me back when you get a chance. My number is blank. And that's it, right? Like super simple, to the point, brings them back to who you are, where you're from, and why they should call you back. Always, always leave a voicemail. And number 5, sending text messages. Now here's the thing. Always send a follow-up text. Always. I can show you thousands of examples of people that I've been following up with for some of them years. That is the 3-step system. Phone call, voicemail, send a text message. Every single time. I don't care if you're following up with them for the 35th time. You have to do it in that order. Even if their mode of communication is text and they only respond to me via text. I'm telling you right now, 99% of the time, deals get done only via the phone. If you want to set up an appointment, 99% of the time, it's going to be done over the phone, not via text message. Have I set appointments via text message? Of course. You're probably saying, Henry, what do I say on a text message? Great question. So what we're going to do is you're going to say, hey John, it's Henry with EXP again. Just wanted to reach out to you. I hope you and the family are doing fantastic. Try to put emojis so that it sticks out a little bit. John, last time we spoke, you said you were looking to sell your home by blank. Okay, by the summertime, by September, by this time, by whenever, okay? You said you're looking to sell your home in 30 days. Whatever they said, you're just going to repeat it. I just wanted to follow up with you and see if that was still part of the game plan. That's the text message I send out tens of thousands of times in my career. You don't have to overcomplicate that. And you're like, Henry, okay, but what do I say on the second text? You basically just say the same thing again in a different verbiage. Hey John, it's Henry with EXP again. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Hope you're doing wonderful. What did you guys do for July 4th? Just curious. Also, just wanted to follow up. I know, John, you said that you were looking to sell your property by September. Just was curious, man. Was that still part of the game plan? That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. You can literally say the same thing in slightly different variations 100 times. It's okay. They know why you're reaching out again. Trust me. So point number 6 is when people only send text firsts. It's like my biggest pet peeve when I'm coaching somebody. Because what happens again is this. You send a text message out, they respond to you saying, yeah, we're still looking to sell the house by blank. And then guess what? Now you're trying to close them for an appointment via text message. What did I say gives you the highest ratio for closing for an appointment? Yes, being on the phone. So what I have done on the rare occasion If a single lead responds to you after you've sent your only a text, which I don't recommend you doing, but I would recommend this. The second they text you back, what do you think you should do? I hope you said call them. Yeah, that would be a fantastic decision, because if they have texted you back, what does that mean? They're near their phone, they're next to their phone, and they're probably gonna answer the call when you call them. So you can literally just say, hey, just saw your text message. I'm actually driving right now. Even if you're not driving, you can just say this. Be like, I figured it'd be easier for me just to give you a call. Close for the appointment. Simple moves can change your business. And point number 7, we're talking about utilizing video messages. I've talked about this before in a few other videos of mine, but this is an awesome follow-up tool. If you're not utilizing video text messages, you are missing out massively. I'm gonna do this live. Here we go. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna record right now. Right, as you can see, I have my camera going. So here we go. Hey everybody, it's Henry with EXP Realty. Just wanted to super quickly send you a video message. I was thinking about you the other day. I actually drove by your house the other day, while I was showing a house down in your neighborhood. And I want to send you a quick video message. This way you can match the voice with the beautiful face. Anyways, I hope you and the family are having a wonderful day. It's been wonderful keeping in touch with you. And I was just curious if selling your property this year was still part of the game plan. Again, I hope all is well. It's Henry with EXP Realty. Looking forward to connecting with you again soon. Take care. I would send that. It's not perfect. Just send the video message, because what they're going to be like, this guy just sent me a video message. They're not going to remember a single thing that you said, but you know what they are going to do? Hey, Sally, you know what my realtor did? They sent me a video message. Did you get a video message from your realtor? I don't think so, because no salesperson does it. But it leaves a lasting impression. And I'm going to tell you right now, okay, this is not a proud moment, but I remember years ago, acne-faced Henry at 22 years old, who was making my cold calls, was sending out a lot of video messages, even looking as weird as I did when I was young. I closed a lot of deals, because at 23 years old, I sold 38 houses. And I utilized a lot of video messages, and my clients freaking loved it. And yes, have I done a lot of videos before? Of course. But I'm telling you right now, I wasn't that freaking good at the beginning. Point number 8, we are talking about being consistent. 80% of the freaking leads that you're going to be generating are not looking to do something right now. What I'm saying is that most people are not consistent enough over a long enough period of time. They'll do really, really well for a 90-day sprint or a 2-week sprint or a 6-month sprint, and then they'll fall off the face of the planet. It's like that agent that's been in the business for 6 months and then quits, or 3 years and then quits. They get burnt out and they're just not consistent. I'm telling you right now, it's not a sprint. It is a marathon. However, no one said that you couldn't be sprinting the whole damn time. I'll give you 2 examples. If you could be the agent who is doing 2 to 4 hours a day of calls, 2 to 4 hours. I'm not saying 7 to 10. However, I am saying if you want to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in your first year, you need to be calling an ungodly amount of hours, okay? Because you have to build a huge pipeline, blah, blah, blah. If you're calling 2 to 4 hours a day for like years, okay? I still call 2 to 4 hours a day, personally. 2 to 4 hours a day, consistently for years, is going to beat the agent who calls for 8, 10, 12 hours a day for 90 days. Because what happens is, after that 90 days of calling all day, every day, they get burnt out and they think that the business isn't working, because most people are not looking to sell their property in the next 90 days. So what happens is that they sprint like crazy, and they make a ton of phone calls, and most of the people, 80, 90 plus, whatever it is, percent of those people are not looking to sell their property in the next 90 days. So they didn't really sell a lot of real estate, and they're like, well, this didn't work. It's not that the calls didn't work, you haven't been doing it long enough. And if you build a pipeline, which quick bonus tip, think about your database for a second. How many people do you have in your database? If you have less than 1,000 people in your database, you have a lead generation problem and not so much a follow-up problem. I'd spend 2 hours new prospecting, 1 hour on follow-up. However, if you have 1,000 plus leads, I'm just using it as a quick number, okay, I have almost 50,000 leads in my account. So we spend a lot more time on follow-up than we do on generating leads, because I don't have a lead generation problem. I still have a follow-up problem, right? I have a lot of leads, and thankfully I have a lot of agents that work with my team and are partnered with me. We spend a lot of time following up with a good portion of those leads, and we don't spend a ton of time on new prospecting. Okay, because that is a follow-up issue. Okay, if you have 1,000 plus leads, more of a follow-up issue, so I'd spend 2 hours of follow-up, 1 hour of prospecting, or even 30 minutes of new prospecting, because all you need is 1 good lead a day. You don't need 10 good leads a day if you have 1,000 leads in your database already. You've got to follow up with all those people. And number 9, last tip of the day. If you are not utilizing automated softwares to make your life easy, hello, it is 2022, people. We're about to have flying cars, for God's sakes. If you're not using automated text messages and emails, you are falling behind, okay? This is not the Stone Age, and you're not building campfires of, hey, come over to my house, okay? No, what you're doing, you're not sending smoke signals and carrier pigeons to send out mail. You are using automated text messages and AI softwares that just about every single CRM utilizes today. But if you're not utilizing it and building out automated text campaigns and email campaigns, you're just missing out, because people like me who have every single lead of my nearly 50,000 leads, every single one of them is on an automated text or email campaign. Every single one of them. So right now, without me doing anything, I'm following up with nearly 50,000 leads. How do I do that? Well, whenever we generate a lead and we've called them, they get put on an automated campaign until they're ready. And then what ends up happening, all of them are synced to a lot of my agents' phones and my cell phone. But I get to see all the conversations that are having with the AI software and automated messages. And don't get me wrong, do we get a lot of people who go, stop texting me? Of course we do. Stop emailing me. Of course I get those responses. However, it also allows me to close 80 to 100 plus deals a year every single year without really working too hard. Follow-up is going to change your business. If you, again, take away even just 2 of the principles that I've reviewed, I guarantee you it's going to help you sell at least another home or 2 every single month. At least. And this is typically the best thing that you could possibly do, because if you're making $50,000 to $100,000 in your business right now, you'll increase your business by minimum 50%. If you could just get a little bit better at follow-up, you'll typically at least 50% increase in your income, if not double your income. It tripled my income. I went from $130 to $450 in a year, just because I got really good at follow-up and prospecting. And last but not least, I'm gonna give you a quick bonus tip just to wrap up this video. When somebody says, give me a call back in 30 days, always cut the time frame in half. So if they say, hey, I'm gonna, listen, times are not really good right now, I'm busy, blah, 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 give me a call back in 2 weeks. Call them back in a week. And what you're gonna say is the following. Hey, John, I know you said you wanted me to call you back in 2 weeks. I just wanted to give you a call back just to see how you and the family are doing, hope all is well, and I wanted to make sure we're still good for about a week from now, okay? You wanna confirm that, okay? Again, you're gonna reiterate, I know you said you wanted me to follow up with you in 2 weeks. Just wanted to follow up and touch base if next week still works best for you. Yes, it does. Okay, cool, sounds great. How are you and the family doing? Doing great, looking forward to touching base next week. Cool. Right? Same thing if they say 30 days, 6 months. Call them back half the time, because what happens is this, okay? The reason why I'm bringing this up is this. You're not the only person with this person's phone number. You're one of many people who have their phone number. And most agents don't follow up, so, thankfully you're watching this video and you're going to get the deal. But that person's probably saying, call me in 2 weeks, call me in 30 days to every single person who calls them. And what happens if you only call them in 30 days? So the agent who accidentally called them the day before is going to get the deal before you. So that's why I'm saying I always just cut the time frame in half. So I'm the next person who definitely is going to follow up with them, and I've already done what I said I'm going to do. I said I'm going to follow up with you. Obviously you said 30 days. I'm going to call you back in 2 weeks, and I'm not going to expect they're looking to do something then because they said 30 days. However, half the time, they're actually looking to do something sooner anyways. Cut the time frame in half. Whatever they say, you're going to get more deals this way. All right? Other than that, guys, I love you so very much. You guys can make sure you check out my Blitz coaching program. It is absolutely free. If you want to learn how to double your business in the next 90 days, make sure you join the group session down below. It is weekly coaching for free. Yes, I said free, baby. So make sure you check it out. It's every single Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. Love you so much. See you in the next video. Take care.